Hello everybody and welcome to Strategy Saturdays. We are back in the world of Suzerain and I have not touched this game since we've recorded last. I also have not even touched this game till literally today. So life got really crazy yesterday, multiple ways, and I literally didn't have time. And hopefully I'll have time to edit this before it should go up. But that's neither here or there. That's my own responsibility. I apologize for being late, and I will say that as of tomorrow, I will not have to deal with school. I have officially finished my associate's degree, unless I horrifically bomb the final that I have to take today. And I'm not going to like a 4-year uni yet. I need money, and I don't have money, so we're just gonna kind of wait and see where life takes me. But till then, let us try and remember what the hell was happening. We had just started this, right? And we have 8 pieces of news. Our growth is in the pooper. We have 8 budget. We have 1 personal wealth. I'm not really sure what the personal wealth does, but journal. Turn 1. Declared my intentions to work with the reformists for constitutional reform, and we have won the election. Codex, there's a lot of things. Connections. And these are my cabinets. Overview. Currently active policies, and then it gives me a little description of everything, which is cool. Let's hop to the news. A fire strikes Holstered State. A sudden fire broke out in archives of the Holstered State University, engulfing a significant part of the academic administration and building. It was put out by local firefighters after burning for 8 hours and ravaging through historic library, which housed many priceless documents. Reporters on the scene have relayed that the event occurred in the evening, with multiple staff of the facility being transported to the hospital with severe burns, but no deaths occurred. The rector, Sander Navek, immediately commented that the incident has damaged several academic works and employee records. We might have lost the world, or we might have lost Mercopa. We won't know until the day we can enter the facility to evaluate. That's lame. That's lame. I feel bad. Does this? All right. And then Speaker Gloria Torrey said the committee, which includes all 3 political parties of the assembly, has been formed for the preparation of potential changes to the Constitution. The committee has been tasked to submit a comprehensive report to find a solution for the current problematic state of affairs in the governmental institution. Torrey said USP wants to appeal to the people of Swordland to help in maintaining stability and order in the state. The details of the committee regarding its actual topics or its members have not been clarified. But that's just because we haven't been able to do anything. All right. In the study development, former president and current chairman of GameStop, Edward, has announced his departure from the exclusive Lothar Lothar Group. His decision has been fueled by growing disillusionment with the interest of the secret organization. Alfonso has been quoted saying that his intent on charting his own course away from Lutherburg. However, this abrupt exit from the group only a few months after his defeat in the 1953 elections marks another political setback for the man who led Swordland into its deepest recession since back in 1951. Good lord. Swordfish National League starts as the Swordfish National League prepares to kick off its 54-55 season. The excitement and anticipation surrounding the league is greater than ever before. Football, once a minor pastime, has been steadily growing in popularity over the past decade, with the National League emerging as the premier platform of the country's top teams and showcase their skills and compete for the coveted championship title. While it's possible, blah blah blah. All right, I'm more interested in a bill to change the criteria for allocation of the public funds the political parties propose. The bill aims to change the criteria from proportion of votes won in general elections to the proportion of seats won. I don't know if I agree with that one. Let's fix our own problems first before we start giving the political people their own problem, their own financial gain. Decades after the Infinite Exam incident. Oh my god, that is a lot of words. New unconfirmed information emerges from the challenge of the official state narrative. As per anonymous former Black Battalion sources, the incident was not an act of foreign aggression to destabilize, but a government conspiracy. Materials related to members of the Old Guard faction revealed startling information about the involvement of high-ranking government officials. Our paper won't be disclosing the details due to potential safety reasons. A fresh perspective of the bloody incident of 1933 necessitates a reassessment of Swordfish history, promising to reshape our understanding of the Bluish movement. Roomberg diplomatic developments of Roomberg, Rizaya, Fuchs, Pale's retort, a recent twist. Okay, so I read everything, and now I have to click on all these things before we can actually read. Open. The local is governed by a mayor from the USP part. That's me. The mayor has reported to struggling to overcome the significant logistical problems of the city. Okay. Anglo Swordish, Ingordian, and others. Das nerdy. Alright. And then what is your problem? The mayor of Avery, Eric Neal, reports a lack of adequate infrastructure around Avery? I cannot pronounce that, which seriously undermines the attractiveness of investment client. Foreign investors, particularly from Angola, are becoming hesitant. Meanwhile, according to the data published by the National Business Council, 9% of the company's total expenditure is absorbed by logistics costs, while the peers. Okay, what is this? And then we have increasing. Hold on one second. Increasing homelessness. The region of Virginia is among the worst hits of Sordic, where the homelessness, a rise in particularity is stark among Blush, where 72% is reported that homelessness among ethnic minority. Logistical issues. Police report. Near and complete destruction of the police until now. Public opinion. 55%. Armed forces, blah blah blah, made a public increased chance of material. Oh god. The latest marine traffic reports the port no longer the busiest, falling behind the threat while this native. So the potentials as a major port is the largest and holds in our. It will hopefully keep supporting low production. Congratulations. Oh, good. Thank you. Congrats as well. Congrats. Response to growing global blah blah blah. And then we have has issued a report examining the state of human rights. Report identify regions include Easter retail blah blah blah. Okay, as long as gas field has announced new gas discoveries and currently yes. Nature preserving March. Paris tourism. Lack of investment. Alright, so I've read those. So now that we've kind of gotten to know what is happening, let's brief on our. Oh boy. Let's see here. Why can I not? Simon, Goose, and Leah's are about to arrive at the White Room for a scheduled econ meeting. This is the room in the Maroon Palace where all important meetings are held. Two assistants arrived first carrying a heavy projector. They stood with it by the door waiting for the ministers to enter. From the hallway I heard Leah's. She was using the patient, almost mothering tone she often took in heated arguments. Gus, do you really think that such an economically advanced area is more in need of investment than England? Leah's, my interior minister, showed in. She was clad in shades of brown and beige, the only spot of color a bright yellow Dasnurist cross on her necklace. Gus followed close behind. Don't be an idiot, Leah's. What about the unemployment crisis in the Greater Holston and the Gippsland regions are going through? These are areas are our economic farmland. Gus curled his hands into fists. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development's temper had changed since his days in the old Defonso, when either had his reputation for getting things done. His far-reaching network of connections was like any other. Simon Hall quickly stepped between the two ministers without looking at either of them. He's cleared his throat. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm very well and motivated, Mr. Rain. It seems our ministers are feeling the same. Just as expected. How's it going? It's looking good, sir, although there seems to be a lot of work that requires attention, especially about lifting people out of poverty, certainly a challenge. I'm feeling fairly confident about our current state of affairs. We've already begun restructuring local government and introducing new safety measures, off to a good start. If there's anything you need, let me know. Of course. Good to know. Thank you, and now I'd like to show you the latest economic situation. Pulled a silk handkerchief, or is it handkerchief? I know that's how you technically pronounce it, but it's handkerchief. Out of his pocket and briefly wiped his glasses. My staff and I have comprehensively analyzed every aspect of. He was interrupted by a groan from one of the assistants by the door. Both of whom were now visibly struggling to hold up the heavy projector. Oh, you could put that here. He pointed below the painting of President Sol. The assistants placed the projector next to the table and installed a white screen on the wall. Leave now. I mean, thank you, and please leave now. The assistant left the cabinet room. I was reminded that Simon had never quite had a way with people, but his facility with numbers, or is it faculty? Is it faculty or facility? I think it's facility. Made him the most sought-after economic specialist in Sortland. Simon started looking for the slides. He always carried documentation around with him. Wait, we will be polite. Polite. I cannot speak today. Good Lord. Linus leaned to the table and spoke. Simon, what happened to the new police station construction stored? While going through his database, he paused for a moment to answer. Briefcase. Wow. Brain, you need to calm. It got sold due to a government property boundary issue. I've been meaning to look into it. I can take a look into that one. Stored needs all the security it can get. Sure, more time for me to spend on analysis. His eyes glittered when he finally found the slides he was looking for. There have been some developments about the Suzerain losing further value today. We have been trying to stabilize it with the central bank. The recession of 51 put enormous pressure on the economy, resulting in the collapse of the value of our currency. The entire situation was a significant cause of concern for our administration. What would you like to know about the current economic? What is our unemployment and inflation? That'll be first. Has rocketed to a staggering 16%, with inflation as high as 10%. Unemployment is increasing crime and drug use. We need to get people off the streets. Inflation isn't helping our average citizen either. What is our GDP and debt situation? 310. Debt is 427 billion. Okay. It's still hard to fathom that we lost nearly 150 billion in wealth. The past 3 years were rough. What is the status of the recession? The economy has been negative 6% in the past year. The average has dropped from 15,454 to 10,039. Wow! In 4 years, we've lost $5,000, or I guess Sordish Ren. The administration's success depends on our ability to stop the recession. The sooner we reach our GDP growth, the better. I have all the information I need. Let's move on to economic strategy. Well, the problem is with the Great Depression that we had back in the, the 30s. The only way that we were starting to climb out of it, and then when World War II hit, we were out of it because we completely changed everything to meet a military goal. I really don't want to do that in this game. I want to use the beginning where we can use the policies and get out of it. And then we also had the recessions in the early 2000s, which probably most of you are too young to remember. But then we slowly started to pick those out of it, and then COVID hit, and we're still trying to pick up after that. So let us go to our strategy. Scattered the paper stack in front of him in an orderly manner and took a final look at his notes before clearing his throat. As you can see, the situation is alarming, but not everything is negative. The extensive privatization program of Alfonso, the key in foreign direct investments, left us a large budget surplus we can use to stabilize the crisis. The primary subject we need to settle on is what general path Solonomics-based nationalization happened in the 30s and Alfonso began. One of our main promises was to promote a free market economy to stop. I believe it is the only way out of the recession. I still do not support it. Why promote the private sector when we have qualified state-owned enterprises? Because the lack of competition has made them inefficient. What are the consequences? They're not one. We have much more likely that we are much more likely to be influenced by the world economy. It is important to think about this subject because the upswings of the world economy will reflect good on ours too, and when the global economy crashes, we go down with it. The structural problems were going to lead to the recession according to the projections at the time anyway. Either way, even if we pick one of the doctrines, we can retain the option to make economic choices on a case-by-case basis. That is, however, not recommended. The last thing we need is a chaotic economic plan. Okay, another important point which has a direct impact on superpowers. We have done well not aligning ourselves with any one of them. Economically speaking, in isolation, this policy overall could only work if we were to reap the benefits of both spheres and their rivalry. This is a dangerous attempt, but still possible. We must be cautious. There are schemes being devised about Swordsland. We cannot give in to their wants now or in the future, otherwise our country will turn into a pawn. Swordland will not be controlled by any nations. We will stand. All right. I hope we won't. Okay. We want this. You'll make the right for our own good. We should attract more foreign investments, foreign direct investment. We saved the country from a fallout in '52 by signing lucrative trade deals with nations. Let's not get ahead of minister, which will be in charge of informing on those types of policy. We must first decide on our internal economic plan. Okay. Would free market bring us it would make it look more positive. The proponents, the influence it has on the world economy is extensive. Our economy should be based on internal reasoning, though. What's on our long-term economic? Picking a construction company, trade relations, tax reform, and privatization would. Sticking to the solid economy plan would be the right call. The 5-year plans were fruitful in the past. I really don't think. I hate that I'm going to choose free market, but I feel like right now to get us out of the recession that would help, because then it gives so many more opportunities to grow for other companies. Let's finish what Alfonso started with capitalist free market reforms. The recession was. History must note that the reason for the recession was because it was betrayed by his party. There was plenty of time for him to do it, but if you can't make change happen in 2 years, then you are at fault. Let's move on to the conclusion. What are your final thoughts? Market doesn't require as much guidance and could help us. Critical institutions must remain in state control. We must fully for delivering services. We should look at opportunities like privatization to create financial resources. It's fully hard to agree or disagree with any of these options. It is, and while every cabinet has their own opinions, you're found. This is the overall strategic direction our ability to make still remains. So, what is the promote a free market economy? We will follow through with our promises. I can't say I agree with this. Leah's looked at. Now that there is clarity on which direction, I will work on a plan accordingly. This concludes our meeting. At our next gathering, we will talk about the upcoming infrastructure. The ministers disperse for lunch. Good lord. I don't know if I made the right decision. I made a decision. We'll see if that worked. Alright. Okay, let's see. Booming wine demand. Alright, that's the least of my worries right now. Increasing unemployment, that's more important. Infrastructure, being mothballed in recent years itself. Lensbury capital. Infrastructure, the recent collapse of tourism has led to reduction in trade traffic and road maintenance. The road network is currently set with needs some hobbits. Promising agricultural growth, good. Of the sign nap. Ongoing efforts to extend its peaceful sea rig as paused oil for essential. The rig has been signaled in its efforts can affect the city. That's fine. Okay. So I did all of so pretty much what I'm kind of doing, I'm kind of speed reading. I'm not really super reading. Tourism beacon, the Sora Tora currently under deliberation is shining beacon of hope aimed at enhancing. Okay. Unfazed by recent ransom is sent to bolster infrastructure and support its ongoing development efforts. Contacts close to government have been planned behind closed doors. Shortly after the meeting that was also attended by the president, ministry has released a statement regarding its short term, which includes promotion of free market economy. A new prototype for the first pocket radio was displayed. After 6 years of research, the engineers behind the pocket transistor radio has revealed that the material science questions regarding the CEO predicting that blah blah blah. President praised the bright minds of our engineers. Freezing Meteorological Institute has reported the record low temperature of -29 in the city of Suzerain. A warning for frostbite has been issued. Wow. Ditches a sign of discord. Yep. Nationalist violence. A man in his 20s has been beaten with baseball bats in the... Good lord. Seeing with the group of injuries, blah blah blah. Okay, what's next? Let's do media. Lucian and Peter arrived at my office about recent developments in the media strategy. They both took their seats across from me. Lucian put on his reading glasses and quickly went over some documents. Peter turned to Lucian and nodded. Greetings, gentlemen. I have just received further material about the sudden fire that broke out in the Holstered State University archives nearby. Tell me more. Initial reports from the police indicate the potential arson case. In accordance with protocol, the Sordis Intelligence Directorate has been called. Is the SID really necessary for this? Why would anyone hit the archives of the university in the first place? I see no logical motive there. It seems the chief suspects foreign sabotage. They informed us that a large section of the archive had been destroyed. It included tens of thousands of globally recognized research documents in original by the great thinkers of our people. It's a shame. We need to support our education system to make new discoveries for the future. Preserving our knowledge is as important as expanding on it. It's interesting that the employee records have also been destroyed as well. Luckily, most originals had copies in other universities and some international libraries. The first edition of my favorite book, The Geopolitics of Swordland by Herman Equa, was destroyed too. Maybe it was just a freak accident. We do have the copies of most important works, so no single fire can eradicate our knowledge. I see no point in destroying employee records either. More importantly, Lucian mentioned that Marcel Cartononi contacted him. Had always been known as one of the richest and most influential families in Swordland, was no exception. He was the oldest son of Conrad Cartononi, the industrialist media mogul who founded HOS, the richest man in the entirety of Swordland. He turned to Lucian. He has offered to meet with you, Mr. President. Why? What does he want? After the passing of the father, may he rest in peace. Marcel aims to become the next CEO of HOS. He's mentioned a production collaboration. They are powerful and individual media engolment. To start with, they own the Swordland Today paper, the Swordland Broadcast, which means that it would be wise to have them our side. Sorry to interrupt. Let's consider options first. I agree, we need to be careful, but let's not get ahead of us. We need to determine our general approach to media. I'm no media expert, but Lucian has made some very interesting arguments at the preparation meeting yesterday. There are two ways we can approach the media. One of them is by influence it, which is a clear advantage. The other is keeping it independent. The media must be independent. Ideally, yes, but an unpopular leader will not be able to pass even the easiest reforms. It is of utmost importance to maintain public popularity and avoid by any damaging scandals. I must stress one thing: the more people we have supporting our agenda, the more we can accomplish. With someone on our side of the influential media, we can do this easily. I see. I agree with Lucian, but why the assumption there will be scandals and mistakes? We can always hope for the best, but do you really think that nothing can go wrong, especially considering the very recent history of Swordland? 2 knocks were heard at the door. Please come in. Livia Suno, my new secretary, entered the office. Her dark curls bounced as she crossed the room to my desk. She spoke with a slight lilt. Excuse me, Mr. President. Mr. Gallaud's secretary has been calling me and wanted me to relay the message. Marcel, the new, is on the line for Mr. Gallaud. Very well, the ball is in our court now. Would you like to talk to him, sir, or would you like me to? Has been calling me and wanted me to, Mr. The new is on the line for Mr. Connected. Go ahead. Connecting. Ooh. A few minutes passed as the two talked over the phone. Good news indeed. Congratulations. Thank you for contacting me about this. We'll talk to you later. Lucian put the phone. What was so important it couldn't wait? He was diselected CEO by a board of directors. He offered a partnership deal regarding his media branch. He is inviting us to his escort resort, wow, near Conrad for a meeting. The board has decided rather quickly. It seems that gave him the confidence to approach us again. He's going to offer a real deal and now has the power to conglomerate too. The choice is up to you, Mr. President. I can set up a meeting soon. I'd like to hear your I am to say I'm torn. If he has become the CEO, then he has enormous influence now. On the other hand, do we want to privately meet with someone we don't fully know? The meeting would help us figure him out. We could still say no to whatever he offers. You know what? Let's arrange the meeting. Let's just hear them out. It's settled in. Looking forward to next month. So I wonder if he has a pool. Looked at his watch. It appears we're done for the day. We will continue where we left off. Thank you for your time. Good work. Nodded, leaving. We're already getting the attention of key figures and potentially dangerous ones. I never said that we would do it. I just said that we need to at least look into it. Because to me, having any and all availability to just see what's happening is worth it before we make any grand decisions. Tourism potential, Rubbery with its rich historical sites. Ooh, boosting tourism. Party committee, the reform, any potential change, the member of such direction seems to potentially make up the majority. Blah blah blah. SID, yep. Republic congratulated on its recent Chancellor, extolled Soylent democratic policy and the peaceful transition, emphasizing share value, exposed positive outlook to continue our diplomatic. Declining energy output has been experienced. Output dams aging. Alright, so we did that. Let's look at the news, and then I'll click on one or two more of the exclamation points, and then we'll end the episode. Nope. Conrad, the first and most important modern entrepreneur Solan's ever seen, passed away today. Suspicious fire. Yep. A fire professor, intelligence according to several academians step forward with concerns. The tactic of our great quest of knowledge should have been protected better. Agreed. Higher freeze amid economic strains. Grandson, one of the nation's largest corporations, not to freeze on new hires. That is not good. Blah blah blah. I personally think that balls aren't dispute. Again, a second female leader that blah blah blah. Internal factions back united. Opposition challenge. That's not good. Where there? Oh, whoa. Due to strategic geopolitical historically, what happened natural blah 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 and all regarding the real question is just folks think about. All right. What is this? And then diplomatic. Fluctuating energy prices, lack of allies. Oh, good God. All right, what about these? Corruption. All right, so we need there's a lot that we need to work on. Healthcare and consistent. I wish there was a way that I could just straight up like click this and be like, I need to work on this, but pretty much what this needs to do is we're given a buttload of information at the beginning, and then we have to go through it and chew through it the best that we can. Man, this is going to be a rough time. Lackhaven. The Ministry of Economics put forward 2 bold plans for the mega infrastructure project that would help with long-term economic help with the invested in. Okay, so this is where I have 8 budget, and if I invest in it, that means I'd lose money. So I have 8 budget to fix it. Take a portion, but could prove yes. Investigate, because if we can investigate, then that would solve hopefully some of our problems, because I'm noticing that a lot of our infrastructure is very old. Campaign finance bill. All right. Section 1 of this bill stipulates a significant change in the methodology of public funds allocated to political parties. The new measure replaces the previous system based on the number of votes won in the general election with a system reliant on the proportion of seats secured by a political party. In the Section 2 sets the annual financial allocation to political parties at 500,000 rand per each member of the assembly. This shift ensures that financial support from public funds aligns more closely with the party's representative influence within the Section 3. A consequential effect of these amendments will effectively lead to a substantial increase in the electric budget and a minor augmentation for other present. This restructuring of funding fosters a more proportional representation. Section highlights the importance of consequences of the parties that do not meet the 10% election threshold will see their public funding electively curtailed. This measure ensures that are concentrated towards parties with significant. You know what? Let's see what happens. Let's see what fresh hell I just. Unfair. Yeah, I knew. I figured it would be. I'm sure that I could always undo it later on. Ooh, my voice cracked. The new law in sponsors, blah blah. Yep. Okay, I figured that much. Well, this will be interesting to see, but that's going to be it for this episode. Let's see. Discussion of potential infrastructure. All right. Yep, that'll be for next time. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.